So the problem asks us to determine whether this equation is a quadratic equation. Now, we know that a quadratic equation in standard form is written in this form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a cannot be equal to 0. Okay? You can have 0 for b, you can have 0 for c, but not in a. So that's not making it a quadratic equation if the value of your a is 0. Okay? So again, this is the standard form of the quadratic equation. Okay? Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So let's try to test whether this equation here is a quadratic equation. Now, again, how do we do that? We need to expand both sides. So the first side here is a square of a binomial. So it's under a special product. So we know the rule that in getting the answer for this, we need to square the first term. We need to get the product of the first and two terms, the second term times 2, and the third term will be the square of the second term or the last term, which is 1. So let's try it. I hope you still remember your grade 8 lesson. Okay, so we expect 3 terms for this since it's a square of a binomial. So to get the first term, we need to square the first term. Our first term here is x. So x times x is x squared. Okay. After that, we get the second term by multiplying the first term times the second term times 2. Okay? Times 2. So x times 1, that's 1x or x times 2. So that becomes 2x. Okay. And the last term or the third term will be the square of the second term here. So in this case, it's 1. So 1 squared is 1. Then, we also need to expand this second side, okay, by applying the distributive property. We multiply the outer term by the inner term, outer term, and the second inner term. So 2 times x, that's 2x. Now we multiply it like this. 2 times negative 3, that's negative 6. 6. Okay. So what will we do next? So this time, we need to combine like terms. What are like terms here? Okay, we have 2x and 2x here. We have 1 and negative 6. So what are we going to do to combine it? We transpose these two terms here to the other side. So remember, the moment we transform this, we also change it to opposite side. Okay? So since x squared has no other x squared here, so it stands alone, so we just bring down x squared here. Then we bring down 2x, okay, plus 1. So we are now ready to transpose this to the other side. Again, don't forget to change it to opposite sign. So from positive, it becomes now negative. So 2x, so negative 6 becomes positive 6. Then equals, so since nothing is left here, so we can now equate it to 0. Okay, so that's it. So next will be, we need to simplify it. So x squared is only 1, so we bring it down. Then as you can see, we have positive 2x plus negative 2x. So positive, when we are adding opposite signs, so we can just cancel it out, leaving it with 0. So positive 2x plus negative 2x, that becomes 0x, or what? We can just eliminate it. We can cancel it now. We can cancel it now. Okay? So that is 0. Now We have here another one, 1 plus 6, which is 1 plus 6 is 7 equals 0. Now, take a look. Take a look. When we compare this equation here that we got to the standard form of the equation of the quadratic equation, as you can see, our x squared here doesn't have a zero numerical coefficient. But our b here is 0 and our constant is 7. So does this make it a quadratic equation? Of course, yes. Because according to the rule, when we have like this in standard form, as long as a is not equal to 0 and the highest degree is 2, it is a quadratic equation. Okay? So, in short, it's what? Our final equation will be x squared plus 7 equals 0. Okay? So, the highest degree is 2. And we have the constant, but you don't have the bx, which is 0. So, now we can already determine the values for a, b, and c. Okay, so what is our value for a? Since there is no visible, shall I say visible? So since there is no indicated numerical coefficient here before x squared, it's understood that the numerical coefficient of x squared is 1. 1, okay? And b, since b is 0, so we write it there as 0. And for the c, or the constant, we write it as 7. Okay? So, that will be our values for a, b, c. And therefore, this equation, x plus 1 squared equals 2 times the quantity x minus 3 is a what? It's a quadratic equation because it satisfies the condition a is not equal to 0 and the highest degree is 2. Okay, so let's proceed now to number 2. Again, we are to determine whether this equation is a quadratic equation or not. So what will we do? Just like what we did earlier, we need to expand or combine like terms. Okay, and rewrite the equation into the standard form of the quadratic equation. So, x minus 2x is negative x equals. So, this is multiplication. We need to apply the distributive property on, okay, negative 2 times positive 3. It's negative 6. Why negative? It's because we are multiplying two numbers having different signs, the positive, negative, and the rule states that when you multiply positive times negative, the product is always negative. Then, after that, we multiply negative 2 times negative x. So, since they have the same signs, the sign of the product is positive. So, 2 times x, that is 2x. Okay? So, after that, we transpose these two terms here to the other side so as to combine like terms. So, I'll bring down first negative x. Then, as I transpose positive 2x to the other side, so I'll also change it to its opposite sign. So, that becomes negative 2x. Then, I still have here negative 6. So, I'm gonna transpose it there to the other side, making it positive 6 equals 0. Okay? So, now, negative x minus 2x is negative 3x plus 6 equals 0. Now, take a look. This is the equation that we were able to generate it's negative 3x plus 6 equals 0. So this time, we're going to check whether this satisfies the condition to make this equation a quadratic equation. Now, let's try to analyze. Is the highest degree is 2? Is the highest degree is 2? So in this equation, no, it's 1. So therefore, this is not a quadratic equation but a linear equation. Okay, so number 2 answer is not a quadratic equation. Okay, I hope that's clear. Now we go to number 3. So same thing that we did earlier, we need to expand. We need to expand by multiplying it using the distributive property. So x times x is x squared. And after that, we multiply x times 1. So x times 1, that's 1x or x. After that, we multiply this 1 by this negative 2 times x, that's negative 2x, and negative 2 times 1, it's negative 2, equals, okay, same thing, we apply the distributive property, x times x, that's x squared, x times 3, that's 3x, and negative 1 times x, that's negative x, negative 1 times 3, that's negative 3. Okay? So after that, we combine again like terms. So we transpose all these terms into the left side to equate to 0. So x squared plus x minus 2x minus 2. Okay? We transpose, this becomes negative x squared. This one negative 3x. This one becomes positive x. And this one becomes positive 3 equals 0. Okay. Now, we combine like terms. X squared plus negative x squared, that is 0. You can cancel this out. Okay? Now you have x minus 2x, that's negative x, okay, plus negative 3x, so that becomes negative 4x, plus x, so that's the answer is negative 3x. Is that right? Again, let's check. X minus 2x, so the answer is negative x, plus negative 3x, so that becomes negative 4x. Negative 4x plus x is negative 3x. So we're able to combine already these 4. And the last one to combine are these two. Negative 2 plus 3. Negative 2 plus 3 is positive 1 equals 0. So again, this is not a quadratic equation since the highest degree here is 1. This is not a quadratic equation. Okay, so that's the answer. Okay, now let's answer number 4. So by applying the same procedure, we apply the distributive property, x times 2x, that is 2x squared. After that, we multiply x times 1, so that is x. Then, negative 3 times 2x, that's negative 6x. Negative 3 times 1, it's negative 3, equals x times x, that is x squared, and x times 5, that is 5x. Is that right? Let's double check. X times x, x squared. X times 5, that's 5x. Okay, how about this? X times 2x, 2x squared. X times 1, that's x. Negative 3 times 2x, that is negative 6x. And negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. It's important to double check your multiplication of the polynomial, so that whenever you go further, you know which term is correct, which term is not correct, so that you can easily spot the error. Kasi mahirap pag humaba na yung solution mo, saka mo palang makikita yung mali. Okay, so this time we'll combine like terms. So 2x squared plus x minus 6x minus 3. Then we transpose, this becomes negative x squared minus 5x equals 0. Okay. So, let's combine like terms now. 2x squared plus what? Negative x squared, that is x squared. Okay. How about this one? X minus 6x, that is negative 5x. Plus negative 5x, that becomes negative 10x. Then negative 3. Is there anything else pa? Constant, so there is no more. Minus 3 equals 0. So, is this a quadratic equation? Yes. The degree is 2 and a is not equal to 0. We have the b, we have the c. Therefore, our values for A1 for b is negative 10 and c is negative 3. So, our final answer is this equation here is a quadratic equation with values a equals 1, b equals negative 10, and c equals negative 3. So let's go to the last one. So same process that we did in the previous numbers. We need to apply the distributive property here to get the product of both sides. Then we combine like terms. Okay, so I hope you still not forget your lessons in grade 8 and grade 9. So, we multiply 2x times x, that is 2x squared. Okay, after that, we multiply na naman 2 times negative 3. 2 times 3, that's negative 6. Then, attach the variable there. After that, we proceed to the second term. Negative 1 times x, that's negative x. Negative 1 times negative 3, that's positive 3. Equals, okay, x times x, it's x squared. Okay. X times negative 1, that's negative x. 5 times x, that's positive 5x. 5 times negative 1, that's negative 5. Okay. After that, we combine like terms. So, let's bring down 2x squared minus 6x minus x, that is negative 7x plus 3 equals x squared. Negative x plus 5x, that is positive 4x minus 5. Okay, so we're going to transpose these three terms here to the other side to combine like terms and to simplify it further. Okay, 2x squared minus 7x plus 3 minus, okay, as we transpose, we change it to opposite, minus x squared minus 4x plus 5 equals 0. Okay, I hope that's clear. Next. So, let's combine like terms, 2x squared and negative x squared, that is x squared. Okay, then negative 7x plus negative 4x, that is negative 11x. After that, we have 3 plus 5 is 8 equals 0. Now, the question is this a quadratic equation? Yes, this is a quadratic equation written in standard form. Where is that paper? So, as you can see, it satisfies the equation. You have highest degree is 2 and a is not equal to 0. Okay, we have the value of a, which is 1, value of b is negative 11, and value of c, or your constant, is 8. So, a is 1, b is negative 11, and c equals 8. Therefore, it's a what? This problem here. Therefore, this is a quadratic equation. Okay. So, for